Representative Liz Cheney may have lost her GOP primary, but says she still has a lot of work ahead of her. Speaking to the press after the results, Cheney, among Trump's fiercest critics, said to assure the victory she would have had to side with Trump, and that, she said, would have been unacceptable.
2 years ago, I won this primary with 73% of the vote. I could easily have done the same again. The path was clear, but it would have required that I go along with President Trump's lie about the 2020 election. It would have required that I enable his ongoing efforts to unravel our democratic system and attack the foundations of our republic. That was a path I could not and would not take. No House seat, no office in this land is more important than the principles that we are all sworn to protect. And I well understood the potential political consequences of abiding by my duty. Our republic relies upon the goodwill of all candidates for office to accept honorably the outcome of elections. Tonight, Harriet Hageman has received the most votes in this primary. She won. I called her to concede the race. This primary election is over, but now the real work begins.
The third-term congresswoman says she was aware that Trump's backing gave Harriet Hageman a considerable lift in the state, where he won by the largest margin during his 2020 campaign.
I raised close to $6 million.
But I did not do this on my own. Obviously, we're all very grateful to President Trump, who recognizes that Wyoming has only one congressional representative, and we have to make it count. His clear and unwavering support from the very beginning propelled us to victory tonight.
Meanwhile, allies of Liz Cheney say she will now turn her campaign to a national level. This includes converting her campaign committee into a PAC, or a political action committee, which will be called the Great Task. Some reports say Cheney might be contesting for the 2024 presidential poll, where she would likely face off for the Republican nomination against Donald Trump. Cheney was one of 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach Trump the second time round, and Cheney is the fourth Republican to lose renomination from that 10. She is also the vice chair of the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riots. Well, our US correspondent Susan Tarani is joining us live from New York City for more on this. Susan, what does Liz Cheney's loss say about the Republican Party, and what do you think are the longer-term implications for Republicans?
Yeah, well, you know, Nick, I think you would agree that no one really expected Liz Cheney to win this race in Wyoming, a deeply red state. But I think for many Americans, it's clear that the Republican Party really is the Trump party right now. I mean, Donald Trump really does have a grip on the Republican Party. And Liz Cheney, despite the fact that she really went out there and she did try to flip some votes from Democrats and independents, at the end of the day, people in Wyoming decided to go with Harriet Hageman, a person that most Americans really outside of Wyoming didn't know who she was until maybe 24 hours ago. On the other hand, you see that people are very focused on local issues, and Liz Cheney was really the face not only of the anti-Trump movement, but the January 6th committee on the one hand. And then, you know, she was really an outspoken critic of the way of Donald Trump's questioning of the election campaign, so on and so forth. So I think, you know, that really says a lot about the direction the Republican Party is going towards. Liz Cheney this morning, she had her first interview with NBC News. When she was asked whether or not she would have a presidential run in 2024, she said she would make that announcement soon. She didn't reject that. And while she's very popular among Democrats and independents right now, not so much in the Republican Party, it's yet to be seen if she does really go towards that path. Ultimately, we have to understand that Liz Cheney is a conservative. And when she gets on that stage and when she goes on these campaign trips and campaign runs, how that would fare among Democrats and independents when she brings.
God bless the United States of America. Thank you, guys. Thank you.